So yes, the First Descendant is about to see some big changes, but a lot of players don't realize these changes will be rolling out steadily over the next few months leading into 2025. And I really wanted to highlight one big important change coming up here during that period. And we're also going to be talking about Season 1 and Season 2's start dates. These are very important, coinciding with these updates. And what was supposed to be an improvement to the game has also come with its own problems. And finally, players are realizing it. Do not neglect this one Descendant. Even still, it looks like Nexon is treating certain Descendants a bit unfairly, perhaps, when it comes to farming. We'll dive into that. And yes, as always, I love reading over your top comments, so look forward to that later in the video. Remember, leave a comment down below. I may highlight it in a future video. So let's go ahead and start out with this that I really wanted to talk about. This is going to be happening over the next couple of months leading up into 2025. So let's go to the official blog post, shall we? Says this: supporting build diversity. This is going to be very important. It says a lot of fun for us to see a variety of builds being posted in the community lately. We love seeing you try so many different builds and are amazed by the unexpected ways you've evolved them. We hope for more builds to exist in the First Descendant, and we want an environment where players are free to experiment with different builds. However, we found that it is difficult to take advantage of loadouts after assigning socket types, which goes against our goal of experimenting with different builds freely. They go on to say this: as a result, the dev team is planning to provide an environment where completely different builds can be created by assigning each loadout with different socket types. We hope this will help you experiment with different builds without feeling overwhelmed. This is going to be a very, very nice change for sure. Now, a lot of you guys are scratching your head, probably wondering, hey, Robbie, when will this be happening? So they don't give like a firm date on this, but they did say it is going to be happening in the next few months, because we get an idea that yes, it's going to be happening alongside Season 1 and Season 2, as confirmed here. We aim to implement the improvements I talked about today during Seasons 1 and 2. So the start date, of course, for Season 1 is August 31st. And they do plan, I believe, to do mid-season updates as well. And then, yes, Season 2 will be rolling out on December 2024. So you can see Nexon's plan on how they're going to be rolling out these updates with the release of every season, mid-season, and then, once again, when a season ends and the season begins, you can expect all of these updates to be rolling out. But yeah, it looks like this game is definitely going to be evolving for sure. I expect that maybe this game might be unrecognizable in 2 years down the road, for the better, I'm hoping, of course. But we will see what happens. But they're definitely heading in the right direction for sure. But we have to talk about some improvements that happened recently that came with kind of like a byproduct that wasn't so good. So check this out right here. It says this: is nobody going to talk about the restart timer being awfully short now? Since the update, you can barely quickly loot and restart the mission before the timer for restarting runs out. I don't understand why it can't be an option as long as people are still in the mission area, void intercepts, and dungeons mainly. The problem is that hitting restart before looting to circumvent this can result in you loading into the new instance before you loot. I have been unable to restart missions with some nice randoms who wish to restart simply because I was 1 to 2 seconds late. Don't even get me started on how the restart button isn't active until the mission results screen is done with its animation. As of right now, I can't think of a good reason for this change, and it's been very frustrating, and I can't believe I have to sweat restarting missions now. This needs to be fixed as soon as possible. It's an online multiplayer game. Why can't I easily play with others? And a response here: I don't understand Nexon's obsession for timers. F timers give option A for restart and option B for leave. Easy as F. It's to prevent FKers, someone noted, both intentional and unintentional. They just need to find the sweet spot for the timers. Now, some people say timers aren't needed for that. If you're AFK, you can't press restart. Like in co-op, put a timer, sure, but if everyone already clicked restart, or you are playing solo, it should restart immediately. Sound off how you guys think they should address this issue. I'm very curious your take on this one. We'll see if there's further adjustments. I imagine there might be, but overall, some of these updates have definitely been more leaning towards improvement. It's just that there's some side effects to them for sure. But this one area of the game for me personally has been annoying and I avoid these missions at all costs. Check it out. Really enjoying this game, but the platform puzzles are dog shit. It says this, took me about a dozen tries, and I'm sure there's more later in the game. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy platforming games, but this game isn't optimized for it. The input lag mixed with a janky grappling hook is a recipe for sure rage. Needs to be fixed. Otherwise, a 7 out of 10 game so far. If they said, hey, we're removing the platforming missions altogether, I would even be down for that. Some people might enjoy them though, but I would almost rather see some sort of parkouring type thing instead of the platforming. There's other things they could definitely do where it's more revolving around perhaps speed, instead of platforming. I don't know. It just feels very janky at times doing those missions. As long as you have 4 people doing it and you're all simultaneously working on it, then they're pretty easy to get through. But otherwise, they could be annoying for sure. All right. So next up, we have this one right here. You can be okay with it now, but re-leveling system in this game is terrible. I have 4 catalysts sitting in my inventory and want to use 1 or 2 more on my Sharon, but 0 energy to waste an hour re-leveling her instead of grinding for parts, killing Colossus, or other fun content. They made it very inconvenient to try to make money selling the convenience, but not even it save you from the boredom and nightmare. They should increase the XP earned on hard mode substantially, 5 times, so the more powerful you are, the faster you can clean, and is 1 more reward for investing in a Descendant. So we have an edit here. I have 10 Descendants on level 40. First leveling is an issue. You are exploring the Descendant, so it is okay. My Glay have 4 catalysts. My Freyna have 4 catalysts. My Luna has 1 catalyst, and my Sharon has 1 catalyst. So yes, I know all the options for earning XP in the game, and that is why I have complained about the system and how inconvenient it is to re-level since the first week. So do you think this is a legit complaint, or is it just complaining to complain? So I've also heard people saying, hey, you know what? There's just way too many complaints about this game. Enjoy the game. But we do have this right here, some feedback. It says, I think you should lose less levels with each catalyst you use. So that might be a middle ground there, something that the dev team could consider. But we got to talk about a Descendant that some players are discovering, hey, this Descendant isn't so bad whatsoever, and that is Enzo. It says, Enzo is OP. I was so wrong thinking him as just a vault opener. How dare you? Today, after maxing out Enduring Legacy, decided to give him a try, and holy smoke, with Firearm Enhancer, he is a beast. Pretty much Enduring Legacy has 96% crit chance now. 15% extra weak point damage is just cherry on the top. I literally am a DPS carry now. Before using him, I always fell at Gluttony, but today, using Enzo, I pretty much killed him 10 times in a row without a fail before he can enrage the second time. Consistently 3 minutes, 3 minute 30 second Gluttony kill, 100 to 120 million DPS dealt. Nice, considering Gluttony has 140 million combined shield and health. Yes, Enzo DPS is insane. Can't even imagine the DPS he can dish out if I can keep his 4th ability up all the time. So I can swap out Edging Shot for other DPS increase. Yep, Enzo is the best boss killer right now. A lot of people are saying yes. And the reason why, one of the reasons why, is Enzo with the Firearm Enhancer is a monster. Too bad it's a 2% drop rate from Ultra Vaults only, so the average player will die of old age before seeing one. So that is where the problem lies, of course. Yes, a lot of players are celebrating Enzo, but they are the lucky ones, because we have this post right here. Sincerely, a depressed Enzo main. I've been playing Enzo since maybe the 3rd or 4th day after release. I tried Blair originally because I thought he sounded cool. Was about to put the game on the shelf because Blair wasn't really clicking, but decided to try my second chance before giving in. I completely fell in love with Enzo and his gameplay. Bought some skins and was on my way. What a cool gameplay concept coming from Destiny, where I hated the ammo economy. I just want to shoot stuff. Spent the next 60 hours trying to get my friends to hard mode because I saw a red mod for him that sounded cool in Fortress. However, fast forward to now, I'm at almost 300 hours played and have a maxed out Enzo and Enduring Legacy, but still no red mod. I've watched all my friends who were trying to help me get the mod. My one friend even bought Enzo on my birthday to try and help me get it, and still no luck. At this point, I have opened 80 to 100 ultra encrypted vaults with no mod. I've also gotten almost every single other red mod in the game through combining mods. I have never felt this sort of frustration in a grind in my entire life, because it's not just the drop rates of the module itself that is frustrating, but the drop rates for the code breakers just to have a chance at the abysmal drop rate for the mod is also a sub 2%, except it's meant to drop from any enemy in the game. Maybe I have the worst luck on the planet, but I don't know what else to do. I'd rather farm void fragments and at least be making progress towards opening more vaults. Instead, I do the same boring missions over and over again, just hoping for one code breaker so I can go and get depressed again. If you made it this far, you must be an Enzo main, so good luck to you in your search. 150 upvotes here. It says putting Enzo mods behind ultra precision vaults was pretty toxic move from devs. So, yeah, again, is this something that you guys want to see changed, or do you feel like, hey, you know what? That's the way it is. That's too bad. Stop complaining. You got to grind for these rewards. So get to grinding. It sounds like to me, yes, the one thing that we can look forward to, and I think a lot of people will have a sigh of relief over this, is they plan to apparently add some sort of guaranteed drop mechanic. So if you are having extremely bad luck with this sort of thing here, eventually you are going to be guaranteed to hit that wall. And then, yes, the drop will happen. So that's one thing the devs are planning on doing to actually update those drop rates, because I know a lot of people are just getting extremely unlucky with this sort of thing. But you know what? Another change that happened was the swap module update as well. But a lot of players are like, whoa, 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 please let us swap modules during the 6-second countdown before things start. There is absolutely no way to abuse this. I can't count how many times I've forgotten to switch until the loading screen, and now since a handful of people were abusing some obscure snapshotting nonsense, I have to either suck at what I'm doing or shaft the other 3-player in my group by just leaving, and there's no in-progress matchmaking, so it does just shaft them. While I'm here, a 10-second countdown timer where you can't interact with menus or your character, all for 4 of them, is kind of dumb. I just came from a loading screen, finished loading me there, and let me use my character for the full 10 seconds. Oh, and stop closing the damn boss door as soon as the countdown starts. Closing it when it stops, I'm right behind that guy. More grumpy old man sounds. I'm going to go use my impact driver on something. Yeah, you know, it would be nice if they could have like some leeway with that. I've also had the same thing happen to me, and it's a bummer when you're kind of stuck with a loadout, because yeah, I also like to change around characters, and then I'm like, damn it, you know what? I kind of forgot to change, one module, and it's just such a pain to get stuck in like a boss fight. You don't want to really like screw over the other players and leave the boss fight either, so it's definitely a tough position to be in. So I definitely understand where you're coming from. All right, so now it's time to go over your top comments. Remember, leave a comment down below. It could end up right here in a future video. Let's do this. So what did you guys have to say? It says, when bunnies pull up to wave-based missions, I say, thank God. Because while I'm ranking up my mastery rank with dog crap weapons with the First Descendant, a good bunny or two comes in handy. Not gonna lie. Yeah, see? There's advantages to have a very OP bunny in the group, especially when you're like releveling and you just want to get through that process. Now we also have this. It's not about nerfing. It's about why all the others are poorly kitted and needs a buff or rework of their kits. Exactly. That's what I was saying in the video. Don't nerf characters. It's time to do some balance changes through, I believe, like buffs and revisiting the kits. Now it says, is anyone else game randomly crashing? I haven't honestly experienced that. I'm kind of curious what platforms you guys are on if you're experiencing that. Because it's actually really upvoted right there. It seems like a lot of you guys were dealing with crashes. Hopefully it's working good today. And this one says, people still doing the Valby farm the old way are doing it wrong, killing the boss right before the timer runs out nets you the rewards for completion, as well as giving you the 1 minute to go through your inventory after the run. Makes 0 sense to fail the mission now, so the more you know. Then we have people talking about Bunny, and yet I get happy when I see a group of cake running in front of me. I mean, speeding through some of the content I have to slave through to get some amps, and I don't feel like taking all day. Some people just have no idea how to game when there's no bunny involved. Like, I swear, I used to think some people were bad before, but this game has opened my eyes wider. Yeah, there's a lot of complaints, and there's also a lot of feedback. Some of it critical, some of it just overdone as well. But I myself, I'm enjoying the hell out of Bunny. I mean, I think she's just such a badass character, and I would be gutted if they honestly nerfed her, because there's just a lot of fun in just going in and decimating all the enemies, you know? She's definitely one of those farming type characters. All right, so there it is. The latest happenings around the First Descendant. Thank you all so much for the comments and the support and love on the videos. I have you guys covered as always, so stay tuned for new official updates and that sort of thing. And yes, I will see you all next time. Take care.